Hey guys, welcome back to Just Checks Out. I am Jess, and today I'm going to be talking about my rating system because I realized I haven't really done that, and everyone's system is different, and what I focus on may not be what someone else focuses on. I am also going to say in the background, you may hear my daughter. Again, it is a Saturday, I am recording, and she is awake, and she's enjoying time with her father, and I'm not going to tell her to be quiet because I want to record on YouTube. So, alright, that's done. Let's get started, shall we? I'm going to make this very quick. Star rating system. I have notes. Sorry for the shaky cam. Sometimes I actually use my thing that I talk about. All right. I am going to have DNF through 5 stars, and I'm also going to talk about what those are relatable to a bit, grade-wise. I have no idea about the German system, the 6-point system. I can only go by the 5-point system. DNF. That's a 0 stars. Easy, right? That means it wasn't my jam. The narrator I didn't get along with because I often listen to audiobooks, or I didn't like the main character, something was not gelling. And when I say a DNF a book, I'm at 10% when I say that. Anything before that I don't count as a DNF. I consider it almost like a trial run, so I don't really count as having been read, because anything less than that you really don't get an idea about the story too easily. But that's basically a DNF. I DNF probably a couple times a month. Not that much, but somewhat. So that's easy. Now, 1 star. If you're looking at the system, the American education system, that's an F. That's a failure. That means that I was so angry, so disgusted, so unhappy with the book that I couldn't even give it like more than that. And sometimes a 1 star is actually like a 0.5 star, but I've had to round it up because they don't exactly allow 0.5s on most websites. But generally, it has no cohesion, zero growth, zero character, look into them. And if they do have it, they often are very not great characters. And as someone who's very character driven, I need to have characters I can go for, and I just always can't. So that's a bit of a problem. And they're usually irredeemable plots, right? So it's like ones where it's nothing but Agnes Grey, for instance, right? I think I gave that 2 stars. I gave it 2 stars, but there were elements of it that were 1 star, and the 1 star was things like animal violence, gratuitous violence against women. All those kind of things will very easily make a book go down in my world. So that's a clear line for me. And there's like no cohesion, nothing makes sense. It was just kind of like throwing things at the wall, hoping it would stick, and maybe getting popular. That's the way I look at it. Okay, and then we have a D, and that's 2 stars. That's like disliked but not hated. Greatly disliked, I guess you could say. That's when books they have the potential, they're just not living up to it. It's like the storylines may not have connected very well. There was no, I call it magic, but like there was nothing in there that really made me appreciate what I was reading. And that's huge for me. I like to appreciate what I'm reading because I'm taking the time to do that. And usually I'm doing it when I'm doing other things for, my daughter or my husband, or before that, before I moved over here to Germany, when I was, doing housework and stuff like that. So those kind of things matter if I'm taking the time out of my day. All right, they do have a few redeemable points as well. So like there are points I would really like to have expounded on, and they probably would have gotten like a 3 star, to be honest. That's usually kind of like my baseline. Uh, and it wasn't what was promised, and it wasn't what was given to me, and so that kind of okay. 3 star. I'm kind of going through these fast because this doesn't need to be a long video. Okay, C. It's like a C in school. It's neutral. Neither good nor bad, just kind of meh. It's a meh book, which is actually kind of more of a pity because I don't really like to give a book meh. I like for books to have more going on, to, either make me like it or love it or even dislike it. Just put something in there so it's not bland. 6 is, I mean, like, C is like bland. All right. So there's effort, but no wowing. It's kind of like when you're in school and you write that bare minimum paper that you know is going to get you a passing grade. Kind of what 3 stars with me. It's not an insult. It's just not upper. It doesn't have that element that makes you want to go, ooh, you know? All right. And it was like wasted potential. So not really my thing. A 4 star. A 4 star would be a B in the American system. And I was actually really good at getting like 89s and 88. So a 4 star does not necessarily mean that you're going to get like a low B. It's just a B. Sometimes it can be like, sometimes a 4 can translate to like a 4.5, which is almost, a 5 star, but not quite. So there's a little bit of variance on that as well, which is good, I think. And that would usually mean like I really enjoyed it. It had cohesiveness and intriguing plot lines, and you cared and you were really deep into it, stuff like that. There was a lot of time and effort put into creating this book, and it means that the craft was there, the writing was there, it was solid. You don't always get that, right? And there's clear time spent in editing, and they've talked to their editors, and they've communicated with their beta readers, and they've done all these things to make it make sense. And then, of course, there is a 5 star, which is an A. And 5 stars I give out usually like maybe 2 or 3 a month, because I usually typically, if I read like 10 books, 2 or 3 may be a 5 star. And that's books that made me go really happy. And I thought, oh my God, I'm so into this. Let me know more. And I just was like that the whole book. I was intrigued by it. And I don't mean just like the same kind of intrigue that's like, a 4 star, but like I was like, I captivated. I guess that's the word. I was captivated by it. And so I like those kind of books. Sometimes they can be fiction, nonfiction. My nonfictions are slightly different than fictions. Nonfictions typically get like a 4 and 5. It takes a lot to get lower than that, and that usually goes back to editing. But nonfiction 5 stars are ones that had an impact and I learned something from it. I don't mean like I was in school learning, but like I learned something about the book itself, but also about myself, just to clarify that. And then I raved about it. I loved about it. I may have even made a video for this channel about it. But oftentimes, guys, I don't always put my reviews on here because I do read a fair amount. I wrap up, but I do put more on my Instagram, and that's always in my social media links below. And you can actually see some mini reviews come up. It's a little bit harder now that I have my daughter to put them all the time, but I do actually use my Instagram a fair amount. A 5 star is also a unique concept to me. Like reading something that I've never seen before, like Patience and Not Forsaken, right? That one was a really intriguing view on mirrors and what you see and what you are, what you want to be, stuff like that, or Good Neighbors. These are the ones I've recently read, this year so far, 2023. But they're books that, they take like steampunk a little bit ideas, or they take like fantasy elements and they rewrap them into something I enjoy, because I am very, 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 very character driven, guys. Like if a character is not someone that I can get into the head of, I usually won't like it. Um, there were quite a few books last year that were HarperCollins I still can't talk about, that I didn't like because I did not like the characters. And I'm finding that, I love a good morally great character, like Surreal from Anne Bishop's The Dark Jewels. Love her. Very morally great, right? But I like her because she has depth and she has promise and she has all these things to her. Whereas you don't always get that with the characters. And that's what can drive a character down and drive my ratings down. Okay, guys. That is my rating system. I hope it made sense. Comment below and tell me, do you have a particular rating system, or what is your rating system? Because I know some people actually put like most like, didn't like, stuff like that. And I actually included that in this one so you can kind of see where we are levelly, I think. Just don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't know. I always forget that stuff. And I will see you on the next video. Who knows? All right. Bye.